is Shilpa from Makeup by Shilpa. I'm doing my second video, and this is on neutral smoky eyes, and it kind of transitions you through a natural smoky look that you can wear during the day to a more dramatic smoky look which you can wear at night or to a special event. So I hope you guys like it. Please do check out my website, www.makeupbyshilpa.com, and find me on Instagram and Facebook under Makeup by Shilpa. So first I'm going to start off with a lighter shade of concealer underneath and above her eyebrow. So you can use the tip of the brush to kind of blend it in a little bit. But once I do her foundation at the end, I'll blend all of that together. So now I'm going to use an angled eyebrow brush for her eyebrows to fill them in. And I'm using MAC's eyeshadow in Mystery. This works really well for her hair color. So I start off at the end and just lightly use light strokes. Once you get to the front, you kind of just follow the growth of the hair and do light strokes going up and off to the side. Alright, so now I'm going to put some, it's a paint pot by MAC. It's called Rubenesque. It's a goldish tone. So I'm going to just put that all over her lid. I'm just taking the 217 brush and dipping that in there and using it to bring it all over the lid. Another paint pot by MAC called Constructivist, and it has a brown tone. Since we're doing a smoky eye, I'm going to go put that into the corner of her lid. So start at the edge of her lash line and just bring it in. You don't want to bring it too far over. Senna, if you can open your eye. So you want to just bring it over to where her iris starts. I'm just using all this as a base so I'm going to put the shadows on top of this to create the look. The paint pots just make the eyeshadows look a lot stronger. So I'm going to use Lorac Pro's eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to use the gold. So once again, I'm going to take the 217 brush and just start from the inner corner and bring it out here. Do 3/4 of the eyelid. Same thing on the other eye. So if you're doing more of a day look, you can totally just do this and use MAC's Red Brick in the crease. So I'm just using a blending brush and going into the crease with Red Brick. So the brush stroke is kind of like a windshield wiper, just kind of go back and forth. That's how you're going to blend everything in, and then you can use circular motions as well. So you can just use this as a day look with some eyeliner if you'd like, or mascara. But since we're going to go for a little bit smokier look, I'm going to add a little bit of a deeper color into the corner of her eyes. And now I'm going to use a matte color called Sable. It's that brownish tone right there. So I'm going to go in to the corner, start from the corner and move in. and work your way in. And back with the 217 brush, just to blend everything. I'm also going to take a little bit of that espresso and go in there as well. I'm going to take my blending brush and make sure use circular motions and short strokes to make sure everything blends together. So you can see all that fallout right here, so I'm going to go back in and clean that up before I do her foundation and concealer. I'm going to use Maybelline Stiletto eyeliner, and it's actually, I just bought this and I actually really like it. It has a nice felt tip. So I'm just going to start in the inner corner of her eye and use small strokes to work my way out. Keep it pretty close to the lash line unless you're wanting something really thick. And then once I get out to the corner, I kind of make a triangle at the end. And then I just extend it out a little bit. And then if you wanted to make it a really smoky look, you can actually go over that eyeliner with a black eyeshadow, and I'm just using Lorax from the same palette, and kind of just going over all of that. The good thing about smoky eyes is that it can be a little bit messy and still look really good. So everything doesn't have to be perfect. The lines don't have to be perfect. This is actually a Sigma small tapered blending brush, E45. So I'm just blending all of that together. And you can go in with mascara. So I'm going to use one of MAC's pigments in Vanilla to brighten up the corner of her eyes and to use on her brow bone. So just right underneath her arch and in the corner of her eye. Blending brush to just blend all that in. And then I'm going to go in with Stila's eyeliner, and it's just one of their smudge stick waterproof eyeliners in black. And look up. So I'm just going to go into her waterline. Start from the outer corner and work your way in. You want to pull it out a little bit. Look that way. And if you want to make it a little bit of a more dramatic look, you can line the top lid as well. Look the other way. And there you go. There's her smoky eyes. Good. Okay. So I'm going to finish up her foundation, and we'll be back to show you the finished look. Alright guys, here's the finished look. So I just finished off with some foundation, contouring, and you can watch my contouring video for that. And I actually, on her cheeks, I picked up a new product. It's Maybelline's Dream Bouncy Blush in Hot Tamale. And then I used Revlon's lipstick in Siren 677, and it's Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick. And then I threw on MAC's Plush Glass on top of that in Bountiful. So there's the finished look. Perfect. And then open. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!